Tampa Bay Politics. I am your host, Angela Birdsong, here every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Please tune in, please share. And I am so happy to have in the house with us today one of our Tampa City Councilmen, Mr. Joseph Citro. See, he brought his fan club with him.
Thank you, Ms. Birdsong. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we got so much to talk about, so let's get started. I always start with, where were you born?
Well, first, Ms. Birdsong, I was driving here, and on my way, I thought of a very dear friend of ours.
You did.
Miss Mary Gerasi.
She was my co-host.
Yes, she was. And, I've known Mary since the mid-'80s. And she was a friend. And
a great videographer.
Yeah, without a doubt.
ABC News.
Bay News 9. She was a superhuman being. Kind soul, kind heart. I mean, she would give you her opinions, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we do miss her. It's been about a year since she's been gone. So we do want to thank Mary in heaven for all the things that she did because she started this show. Yeah. So where were you born?
I was born in Washington, D.C. Didn't stay there long. Moved around with my mother and father. Father died when I was 3.
Oh, really? Okay. So she was a single parent.
For a short time.
Okay.
Married a wonderful man, mechanical engineer, nuclear physics degree, government clearance at the height of the Vietnam War. We moved around quite a bit.
Okay.
I had a great childhood. When she was married to him, he worked for Dow, DuPont, Pratt & Whitney, McDonnell Douglas, General Tires, and NASA.
Wow.
And that's how I got my base here in Florida. I guess
at MacDill?
No. When I mean Florida, over Cape Canaveral.
Okay.
And they got divorced, and my mother kind of went spiraling, turned to become an alcoholic, and married a man that had 11 kids. So
really?
I went from being an only child to a family of 12 kids, and we moved down here. In '74, graduated from Lato High School. Really had no direction as a kid. Again, when your parents are alcoholics
and she married an alcoholic.
Yeah, you as a child have no direction.
I see.
And finally, I guess in '95, '96, I gave up alcohol myself and became clean and sober.
Okay.
And that's when I really grew as a person, and that's when I knew I wanted to get into better things and do better things. And I had bought my first house from the money that I gained from not drinking anymore. So
okay.
It's amazing how
and
much money you can save.
Where did you buy your first home?
In South Tampa.
Okay.
And that was in 2000. And I was sitting on my back porch with a friend of mine who was drinking beer. And I was complaining. I never knew the expenses of a house and what it costs to pay taxes and other things that you might need to do. And I was complaining. And
now, at that point, what were you doing for a profession?
Hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist
for... You became a hairstylist.
42 years. And that profession gave me the opportunity to do the things that I wanted to, the scheduling. I became part of Civil Service Board for the City of Tampa, which deals with employees. Code enforcement, I was a magistrate for Code Enforcement Board, so then I became part of the Variance Review Board, and then, the Charter Review Commission. Had I not had that profession where I could schedule my own time and work a 9-to-5 job, I would have never been able to do those things, to get me advanced, to hone my trade, to learn my skills to become city council.
Well, you bring up a very important point because a lot of times people want to be involved, they care, but because of responsibilities, they just can't get involved. So I'm hoping they're listening to Tampa Bay Politics when they can.
What, there is ways. We have boards, commissions. We have all sorts of things where people can get involved in after hours.
Oh, good. Good to know.
After hours. We have a variance review board which meets in the evening. We also have Barrio Latino. We also just so many different boards. If people want to become involved in the community in the city of Tampa, I would go on to tampagov.net and look up boards and commissions, and then that way they can really become involved.
No, that's a wonderful thing. Now, tell me a little bit about your salon career.
I've been again in 42 years.
Where is your salon?
It's on the corner of Cypress and Himes, right across the street from the new Midtown project.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we can talk about that later on in the show, because I know there's a lot of development going on
There is.
in the city of Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I guess you got quite a little client base there.
Yes, I do. I put in my 35, 40 hours a week with city council. Plus, I also put in 35 hours a week with my clientele. That's my escape. That is my time when I can just relax and apply my trade. But let me tell you, I hear more about politics in my salon
I can imagine.
than I do anywhere else, and that includes West Tampa Sandwich Shop or anywhere else. My clients come in and give me an earful.
And probably tell you what they really feel.
Yes, ma'am. They do not hold back there. And of course, the other stylists, their clients give me an earful also.
I see. So it's you and another stylist in
Oh
the salon.
no, it's myself and 3 other stylists.
Oh, okay. What is the name of the salon?
Studio B Salon.
Studio B. Been there for over 40 years.
No,
No,
I have
you've been.
moved. I have moved around. I've been in the profession for 40 years.
I see.
started my trade at the old Tampa Bay Center. If you or your listeners,
That used to be a shopping mall,
yes, it did. It was the finest of its time.
and now it's called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers training field.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that was some prime real estate right in West Shore.
Well, I remember riding horses there back in the early 70s when I first came.
Wow. Okay, so you were prior to Tampa Bay Mall.
Graduated from Leto High School.
Now, did you go to college, or you just went straight into the salon business?
Let me say, USF, I started, but we did not agree, and
And you did not finish.
I did not finish, no.
What was your major when you went there?
I didn't get that far.
You didn't get that far. Okay, so the salon. So at some point, you decided I want to be a stylist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you went to school for that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, okay, so you are. So how did a hairstylist become a politician?
As I was alluding to earlier, I had
Yes.
bought my first house, and my friend who had a few beers in him heard me complaining about the expenses of a house, not only in taxes, but what I had to go through. And of course, that person said, well, you should become mayor.
Oh, why not start at the top?
Well, I went to my very good friend, Mary Alvarez, who was city council at the time,
Okay.
and I said, Mary, please, I would like to get involved in politics in the city of Tampa. She goes, well, what you need to do is get involved with boards, get on boards, get on committees, hone your skill, be able to look at voters and say, I've already made important decisions with you, being on civil service, being on code enforcement, being on variance review board. I have already made those important decisions. So the
see.
experience that I had over 16 years of being on these boards helped me, in my mind, get elected.
Well, I have to agree with you, because being an elected official requires a lot of knowledge. Because when you're talking about a city the size of Tampa, there's police office, there's a police department, there's child care, there's all kind of enforcement of codes, like you said. I mean, it's a lot.
It's understanding the codes, understanding the ordinances, understanding the budget, We have two branches of government. We've got the legislative and we got the executive. The mayor is the executive, and city council is the legislative. We deal with codes and ordinances, zoning, and other things. But, one of the toughest jobs we have is approving the budget.
I see. And how big is that budget?
$1.4 billion?
That's a lot of moolah.
That's a heck of a lot of money.
And that's a lot of different places that it has to go and be accountable for.
And I was asking, I'm the chair of public safety, which deals with fire and police.
Okay.
My ask with this budget was we need more staffing. Fire needs more staffing. Police needs more staffing. Permitting, construction services, code enforcement. We just need more staffing, and the mayor's office and the staff, chief of staff, were able to come back and say, Councilman Citro, yes, we have 64 new employees that will be coming into work.
Well, that's a good thing. Now, does that mean you're already hired up, or you're looking for people?
That's where we're already hired up, but through attrition, we're having people that are retiring. Yes, we're always looking for people. And again, go to tampagov.net, and you can find those positions that may be available.
So if you are a young person, go ahead, get involved with the city or the county. That is a good, steady paycheck.
Without a doubt. With great benefits.
With great benefits. Not all jobs have that today.
Mm-hmm.
And what about pensions? Still got pensions?
Still got pensions.
Well,
or 401ks that will provide. Police and fire have their pensions.
Police and fire. And I saw a advertisement looking for minority police officers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an initiative that you're trying to
That's
do
always an initiative. We have the most diverse police department.
Good to know.
We do. It doesn't matter what God you believe in. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your sexual preference. It doesn't matter what color your skin is or what religion. We have the most diverse police department in I feel in the country. Same with our fire department.
Now, I know there's been some issues with getting the ladies to feel at home at the fire department, but I'm hoping that you'll get some more women in there.
You got to look straight at our Chief Barbara Tripp.
We have a lady chief now.
Yes, we do. Yes, the mayor has chosen a lot of women for department heads, minority women for department heads. We have Chief Tripp, who's an African American woman. We have Sharisha Hills, who is an African American woman.
What is Sharisha?
Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec.
So, we have the mayor has done an excellent job on getting women as department heads.
Wonderful. And does she have minorities working in her office?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
That's good.
Yes, she does. We have Miss Osea Wynn, who is become this wonderful, wonderful part of her staff.
What does she do?
Osea, she has just changed over. She is good. You're gonna get me on that one. I'll get back with you on it. Okay.
But she's working
just
directly with
title.
the mayor.
She's working with the staff.
Oh, she's working with the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've got a minute in this segment. Do you want to tell people how they can get in touch with the city? My
door is always open. You can get in touch with me. My phone number is area code 813-274-7072. My email is joseph.citro, C-I-T-R-O, at tampagov.net. My legislative aide is Tim Hibberline. And again, call us. We will help with anything you may need. We'll listen to any topic you want to talk about. So email me, call me. Let's talk.
Hey, he's available. If you got a problem in the city of Tampa, he wants to hear from you. So don't say that you don't know how to contact your city council member. Okay, we'll be coming right back.
Call Ricky, 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 Ricky. Ask Ricky, Ricky, Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen or sundown 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-7425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, push your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky, 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 Ricky. Ask Ricky, 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 Ricky.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
Hi, this is Angela Birdsong, and I'm so proud to say I have my very first sponsor for Tampa Bay politics. His name is Sam Cohen of Attorneys First. So if you are an attorney, please give him the opportunity to quote you for errors and omissions insurance. His number is 727-799-4321. That's 727-799-4321. Hey, we're back. So happy that you have taken the time to listen to Tampa Bay Politics. And in the house is one of our sitting city council members for Tampa, Mr. Joseph Citro. Live and in person. Okay.
Miss Birdsong, I need to get back because I don't want Miss Osea Wynn to be
She
upset
can hear
with
it.
me because, you know, her job had changed over recently, and I just want everybody to know Miss Osea Wynn.
Strong African American woman. What's she doing at the city of Tampa?
She is the Neighborhood Community Affairs Administrator, so she is high in the administration.
Okay, community affairs. Now, what does that really mean?
That means she deals with the people within the city of Tampa. That means she deals with the people in the city of Tampa.
Okay, so someone could call her
Yes, ma'am.
about from the community to get some things done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. So if they call up the city of Tampa, they can ask for Osea.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I might see. I'm hoping to see her around the community then. I can't wait to meet her. Now, tell me, how many people actually sit on the Tampa City Council?
There are 7 of us. Districts 1, 2, and 3 are at large, which means their district is citywide.
So you are one.
I'm District 1.
Okay.
Charlie Miranda is District 2, and Councilman Dingfelder is District 3. Then you have North, East, South, and West, roughly, and that makes up the other 4 councilmen, which is Luis Fiera is in the North. The West is Councilman Maniscalco. The South is Councilman Carlson. And, of course, the East is Councilman Goods.
Who is a former police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about East, we're basically talking about where we're sitting right now, because we are in East Tampa on 50th Street near Hillsborough Ave. And then when we're talking about South Tampa, we're talking about Representative Councilman Carlson. Councilman
yes.
Carlson, yes. So he's got all of South Tampa. And then, so in West Tampa would be Councilman
Maniscalco.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's the other councilman?
Councilman Vieira.
Vieira is New Tampa.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which, if you don't know, is part of the city of Tampa. It seems like it's far out there, but it's still part of the city.
Well, you know, years ago, Mayor Greco found a way that we could annex part of that part of Hillsborough County and took a section from around USF, and we gained some land up there.
I see. And boy, has that land grown.
Yes, ma'am.
My gosh.
Yes, ma'am.
Got quite a bit of population out there.
Got some wonderful developments out there. Tampa Palms, Hunter's Green. It is
K-Bar.
Yes.
It's just, there's so many rooftops out there.
Yes, ma'am.
So many. Okay, so the city of now when do you guys get elected?
We get elected when the people vote for us.
Ooh, and let me tell you, I heard Nancy Pelosi once say, we're having midterm elections, and 50% of the Americans don't even know we're having elections.
Yeah, well,
unfortunately.
Our next election is March 2023. The local elections, the mayor and the city council, are kind of off elections. We're in March, not November.
That makes it difficult for some people. They don't know the elections are going on.
They do not. However, there is different logics in that, and one of the logics was that if we are in presidential elections or midterm elections, that we, the city council and the mayor, would kind of get lost in the shuffled down ballot.
Okay.
So if a city council by the last election can get elected by 8,000 votes, if you have somebody in November that is running for office and they're down ballot, they might get elected by fewer. This way, it keeps us separate, and in my opinion, draws the voter out to make a very, very important decision.
Okay. You don't know how many total votes the mayor got, do you?
No,
Okay. Just wondering. So the next time will be 23. So you got a couple of more years.
I got about a year and a half, maybe less.
Maybe less. Now tell me, how many offices did you run for prior to getting elected?
I only ran for one office, and that was city council.
I see.
But it took me 4 tries.
That is determination. Good for you.
No, and each time I lost, I went and got on a different board.
I see.
So each time that I was able to come back to the voters and say, look, I've learned this, I've learned this, I've learned this, I've learned this. The last time, obviously,
you got over the hump. And who was your competitor?
Boy, Walter Smith II was my last.
Walter Smith. Okay. And I believe he's run more than one time. I think. But anyway, all right. So you had a pretty formidable competitor there. He knows a lot of folks in Tampa, and now he has his own radio show.
Yes, he does on another station.
Well, WTMP, I believe it is.
WMNF.
Oh, WMNF. That's where he is. Okay. And I believe his father was the president of FAMU at one point.
Yes, he was.
Yes. All right. So, do you plan to run again?
Yes, I do.
And you were enjoying your time on the city council.
You know, I'm having a blast. I am so happy that I was able to be in this part of history. Pandemic, we had some unrest, but I'm able to be here in Tampa making important decisions. Our city is growing so rapidly.
It
right
really
now.
is.
And
we got DeSantis inviting people to Florida.
We can't put a wall around Tampa.
That's true.
We can't do it. So we're going to have. I'm often telling constituents. I'm often telling people that. It used to be politicians made decisions that would affect them 4 years later for the next election. I want to make my decisions so 40 years from now, 40 years, people will be able to say, Councilman Citro made the right decision so that my children, my grandchildren will have a better time.
Absolutely, because, councilmen and commissioners can make a huge difference.
Local government is best. Please, Miss Birdsong, don't get me started on preemption from the state of Florida. The state of Florida has preempted this city council 3 different times since I have been in office. First with our tree code, then with Councilman Vieira's apprenticeship program, and with my first attempt to present a clean energy resolution for the city of Tampa.
All right, we need to talk about this because it's a big issue that a lot of people are not aware of. In Tallahassee, we have a majority Republican rule. It's problematic. And because it's my show, I can say vote blue. That's really the only answer. But tell me, how are they been, how does the Tallahassee rule these local county and city commissioners?
I am a nonpartisan race, so I'm not.
That's why I can say things you can't say.
But okay, there is a person that had a problem with a tree in their yard that didn't even live in the city of Tampa, and they did not like the codes and ordinances where they lived.
Okay.
So they went to Tallahassee, gained a few people, and were able to preempt local tree ordinances.
Now, why are they even? Do they even care about tree ordinances? I don't know.
I don't know. This city, Tampa, worked for 3 years with people like Kathy Coyle, with people like Kathy Beck, and these were city attorneys, these were city administrators, these were people that were with the city. It went out with Kristen Mora, who is another city attorney, to developers, the Tampa Bay Builders Association, neighborhood associations, and were able to talk to the people and come up with a plan that was the most legally binding and most environmentally binding. And so after 3 years of doing that, someone who lives in a different city, who happens to be a state representative, goes to Tallahassee and gets a bunch of people together to preempt local ordinances and codes.
Okay, does this really come down to developers want to just take out the trees when they want to take out the trees?
No.
Okay, so what is behind this, you think?
I don't want to go out on a limb, but I'm going to say it was just one person that didn't like something.
All right. Now, you also mentioned that City Councilman Vieira's initiative for apprenticeships, they also preempted that.
No sooner did our vote go through.
Okay.
No sooner did our vote go through that there was preemption written. I mean, it was amazing that Councilman Vieira said, "Hey, I just got a text. There was preemption bills passed, presented for this."
Let's go over that program. What was Louis Vieira trying to accomplish with that apprenticeship program?
10% of all vertical building within the city of Tampa have some sort of apprenticeship program with it. Was it 10 or 12%? Some 10 or 12%.
But a certain percentage had to
ma'am.
be guaranteed as apprenticeships.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the forces that were working against you, why didn't they like that?
There were some construction companies, there were some developers that felt that would cost them too much money.
I see. It all comes down to money.
It does. And then when I put forth my clean energy resolution, when I made it public before it went to council, I heard from so many different organizations, not that I want to name any of them right now, but they were out there. And I got calls from other cities, other municipalities saying, "Joe, you really need to stop this action because it might ruin what we already have in place." Because as soon as I made mine public, there was paperwork in Tallahassee preempting it and making it retroactive for any other city or community that had their clean energy plans in place.
All right, so we know why they don't want clean energy, and that's about the money.
I can't disagree with you there. But now we are starting to see that in the long run, it's going to save cities and municipalities money. With the money that the Clean Energy Initiative and the Mayor's Resiliency Program, who is headed by Whit Reamer, it's going to save us money in the long run. We just had the new development out on Hannah Street, the building out there. We're actually going to be able to save money in operations by putting things such as solar panels, LED lighting, water savings, so many different things. We'll be able to save money.
I think, okay, well, when we come back, we got a lot of things to talk about that are going on in the city of Tampa.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Catch my show that will be all up in your business. Let's Talk Business with Cheryl J. Cuso. Every Wednesday at 12:31 p.m. My business experts provide insight for business entities and entrepreneurs. So join us every Wednesday from 12:31 p.m. to 1:31 p.m. at www.intouchnews.com. Catch my show.
From LA to Tampa Bay, I am back. It's Locks by B, bringing you a special gift right before the holiday. On December 11th and 12th, I will be hosting a 2-hour hands-on lock training at my Shade and Texture beauty store. If you're interested in learning how to start, maintain, and style locks, this training is for you. In addition, leave with a starter kit and digital curriculum. This year, invest in yourself and learn a new skill set, or sharpen your skills as a lock stylist. Be prepared to start offering lock services for today's demand for natural looks. To register and for more information, visit www.locksbyb.com. That's LOCSBYB.com. Hope to see you there.
Okay, we're back, and our little time with City Councilman Joseph Citro is going by quickly, but we got some issues that people are concerned about in the city of Tampa, and one is affordable housing. You got any good news on that?
Oh, this city is doing so much right now for affordable housing. I think the misnomer is out there that the city doesn't care, and that's farthest from the truth. Look at Rome Yard. Rome Yard is coming up now. It's going to be starting development that has multi-leveled housing there. Everything from market value to affordable housing.
All right, let's talk about where Rome Yard is located.
Rome Yard is south of Columbus, just west of the river, and goodness, what is that southern street? It's not Main. It's above Main, but it's in the West Tampa neighborhood. It used to be a holding center for vehicles and other things for the county, and the city was able to purchase it. And there's some wonderful things going in there. This can be complete with retail, grocery stores.
Well, they need grocery stores over there.
All sorts of things there, but that's going to be affordable housing. You got the whole Main Street corridor now that has 3 wonderful structures that are affordable housing.
When you say Main Street corridor, where
Main
is that?
Street from North Boulevard to let's say Willow.
Now, was that formerly the projects?
The North Boulevard housing.
North Boulevard housing, a.k.a.
No, that is not. That is coming up also.
Oh, that's coming up.
That's
okay.
coming up also. So you see, me and you are talking about affordable housing after affordable housing after affordable housing.
Okay.
There is a project that I cannot name specific where the city just bought land in East Tampa that is paid for by CDBG funds, community development budget grants, that is going to be 51% below medium average income, which is also affordable housing.
That's what we need.
Okay. So the misnomer is where
Because,
people are saying to me, well, a friend told me that there is a lot of affordable housing
Coming
development
up.
going in. And there's one I want to talk about. I am the chair of the CRA, Community Redevelopment Agency, for the city of Tampa. And a lot of people are complaining, hey, the CRA, the downtown CRA gave $25 million to the Strass Center. Well, that is a large economic driver for that area. But what people don't realize is that there was land. $5 million was to purchase land for affordable workforce housing down there that I had urged that CRA to purchase, the old Army Navy.
Well, you need workforce and affordable housing down there.
And there was also $10 million over the next 2 years set aside by the downtown CRA to purchase land that may be around there, provide for affordable housing infrastructure down there. So that CRA that downtown may have is going to put in $25 million over 5 years for the stress. But downtown CRA also set aside $15 million for affordable housing and infrastructure for affordable housing.
Well, that is good news.
People don't realize that. So this city is doing a lot for affordable housing.
Well, I guess somehow you got to get the word out about what you're doing.
And we have. But, again, Councilman Goods and I refer to, there's rumors that start. And you know how rumors start? Well, a friend told me. Well, people have to do their investigating and find out the information for themselves. Or they can
I don't know,
call
maybe you all
my
should
office.
do billboards. This is coming.
Believe me, what I want to see happen is correct, like a billboard or a sign, and all these projects saying something to the effect of tax dollars paying for affordable housing. This
or city council or the mayor's project.
And yes, ma'am. Yes, there is a lot of affordable housing going on.
Now, can you assist someone who is homeless right now, being evicted right now?
There is many ways. We had Lift Up Tampa that CRA funds funds that were associated with the CRA went in to help with the rental assistance and whatnot. There has always been ways and avenues for which people.
Is rental assistance still available?
I can't say from the city of Tampa.
Okay. Because I know some money did come from Hillsborough County.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, and from the federal government.
Now, we're hearing a whole lot about infrastructure funds. Are you all getting any of that?
Yes, we have, and we're using some of it in different ways to assist our other programs in the city of Tampa and helping out. We got the ability for 27 new firefighters.
Okay.
So we are able to use those funds to help, again, with hiring more staffing that we desperately need.
And what about roads? Any roads, bridges, money?
I hear constantly people saying to me, constituents saying, fill my potholes. And where we get our funds to maintain our roads, to repave our roads, to take care of the roads that we are the custodians of, such as county roads and state roads, comes from gas tax. And because we have shot ourselves in the foot by making our vehicles more energy efficient, and I'm pointing at myself when I say this, Miss Birdsong, those people that now drive electric vehicles, they're not paying in. Our gas tax funds have decreased.
You know what? Until I spoke to you about it, I didn't realize that those electric cars are not paying any gas tax. And there's going to be more of them.
Yes, ma'am. But there is there is conversation about when you renew your license tag, paying into that type of fee. And I'm more than willing to do that.
I am too. So how would they collect those funds?
Well, when you go in to renew your tag, your registration,
yes,
you would be taxed at that time.
Okay.
To put in for our infrastructure for our roads. Now, I had asked some members of Board of County Commissioners, why don't we raise our taxes on gas 5 cents a gallon? And over the last year and a half, or coming up, would have raised some money so we could start repaving our roads. But there is initiative for the All for Transportation tax to be revisited. You know, that tax that
that was returned because of Commissioner Stacy White, who had a partner in Tallahassee and a lawsuit, and they returned all of that money.
Well, there is hopefully coming up in the next election in November, there's going to be another All for Transportation tax.
Thank God.
And hopefully it's going to pass. And I understand that some of the county commissioners did not want to seem as if we were taxing twice. But if we were to raise the gas tax by 5 cents and
in the meantime,
and I'm saying when the All for Transportation passes through, we could have sunset. We would still have collected some money where we could have started repaving our roads. But that didn't seem
But
to...
so they anticipate that All for Transportation initiative will go through again, and the people will be taxed.
I've got everything crossed. I got my fingers crossed. I got my toes crossed. Got my eyes crossed. Got everything crossed that is going to pass.
And
yes,
they
ma'am.
will not have to be subjected to another lawsuit again?
If it's written properly.
Okay. All right. So they learned their lesson, and they're going to come back again.
From what I heard from the writers, yes.
All right. And it's going to stick this time. Well, you know what? We have the majority. Well, I don't know. We have the majority Democrats on there. I know they're for it. But it only took one county commissioner to break the deal last time, and he's still there.
There were so many moving parts on all the lawsuits, to the point where the verbiage of how it was going to be. No taxing entity in the state of Florida cannot tax without saying how they are going to spend it.
Okay.
With the tax that was written, the All for Transportation tax, it was already dictated on how the funds were going to be spent. So then the writers of it said, well, then we'll just change the verbiage. Well, then somebody else said, wait a second, that's not what the taxpayers voted on. And that's when it went to the Supreme Court of the state of Florida.
I see.
There was 2 different lawsuits on that now.
I see. Okay.
There wasn't just one.
I know that Stacy White was the instigator of one. Who instigated the other?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't
Okay.
remember the gentleman's name.
Okay.
But they said, no, that's not the way it was written. That's not what the voters voted on.
All right. So voters, hopefully you're going to see that initiative on your ballot. Please vote for it, because part of that money goes to HART, right?
Yes, ma'am. And, of course, we all know the biggest the biggest part of transportation in Hillsborough County, especially the city of Tampa, is HART.
Okay. We're going to talk more about that when we come back.
Let's do.
Give them your number one more time.
My office number is 813-274-7072.
If you know somebody on the city council you can call on. That's good news. Hi, this is Angela Birdsong with Tampa Bay Politics. And not only can you catch us on InTouchNews.com every Wednesday at 11 a.m., we now have a website at TampaBayPoliticsPodcast.com. We are on Apple, Google, Spotify, and Stitcher, which you can log in at any time and listen to Tampa Bay Politics.
Cancer affects everyone, but minority populations are often hit hardest. Moffitt Cancer Center is working to address the barriers that keep some groups from getting the care they need. African Americans develop cancer at a younger age, have more aggressive cancers, and experience worse outcomes than the general population.
While cancer treatment is evolving with precision medicine, who is being left behind? We know for many decades that some groups experience a greater burden of cancer than others. We can prevent it, we can detect it early. It's very beatable when we find it early. I have worked with cancer patients during their treatment. All cancer patients have courage.
So my treatment was about 18 months. I had 3 cancers and 7 surgeries. But my son told me, like, Mom, you're the strongest person that I know. Moffitt saved my life.
During COVID-19, Moffitt is a safe place for your cancer care. Call now to schedule an appointment.
For all your national and local entertainment news, not to mention your favorite smooth soul and R&B flavors, log on to the letter N-touchnews.com.
Okay, we're in the house with City Councilman Joseph Citro. Now, thanks again for coming by. Now, Heart, our bus service in Tampa. Let's talk a little bit about that. It seems to always be underfunded, and we got some infrastructure funds. Can you help our bus system here?
That's Board of County Commission.
Okay.
I am on MPO, which is now the TPO. MPO used to be Metropolitan Planning Organization. Now it is Transportation Planning Organization, and we are.
And who's on there with you?
Well, I cannot list all the people, but I'll list a few.
Okay.
We have County Commissioners Cohen, Kemp, Smith, and Overman. We have City Council members Citro, Maniscalco, Dingfelder, Joe Lopano from the airport. Let's see, we have from the Port Authority, we have from Temple Terrace, Plant City.
Because Plant City and Temple Terrace are their own cities.
That's correct.
Okay.
So that makes up the Metropolitan Planning, the Transportation Planning Organization. So back to your question, yes, the TPO is looking at ways of making sure that funding gets to Heart.
Because a lot of African Americans do depend on bus service.
Yes, ma'am.
Minority folks, they need it.
And there are a lot of people that live and work outside of the city, that live outside of the city of Tampa that come in to
work.
The city in Tampa that need that transportation. So, again, getting back to the affordable workforce housing in downtown, if we can save those people coming into the city the monies for the car, maintenance, upkeep, gas, insurance, and don't have to build a housing in downtown Tampa that has a $40,000 or $50,000 parking space.
Yes.
You can lower the rent. Somebody or the cost, the mortgage. Somebody doesn't have to necessarily have a car to live, work, play, and learn in downtown Tampa. So people are going to be able to work in downtown Tampa, make a good wage, and not have to pay 1/3 of their wages for
if not
mortgage,
50%.
rent, yes, and of course electrical. Because now what I'm trying to convince the city is, if we're going to have affordable housing and you're paying 1/3 of what your mortgage or rent would be in electricity, does it make it affordable?
No.
No, and we can start doing things to make these buildings more resilient in downtown Tampa for workforce and affordable housing.
Now, a big issue is gentrification, where we have these developers coming in and places, and also developers like Domain Homes. They're taking up lots, they're building houses, but the people can't afford them. What do you think about these developers who are coming into our communities?
There are some developers that have come into our communities and taken advantage of people. But let's go to the flip side. You have a woman who has been in the house for the last 60 years, raised a family, maybe even see their husband died in that house, has paid it off, paid taxes over the last 60 years, and now wants to sell that house to be able to live in an assisted living facility or to downsize.
Yep.
So you're going to tell that woman who has raised her family, see her husband die, pay taxes on that house for the last 60 years, you can't sell it for market rate? You have to sell it below market rate? So when Domain Home goes in and buys properties from a woman like this, Domain has to offer her less for that property. The city of Tampa has properties in which they have through whether it be sales tax, tax liens and whatnot, that are now being sold for pricing that is more affordable for local developers, minority developers, to come in and build, and it's happening around there. So I'm looking at the people who sold the property, the people who are buying the property. If we can keep it, and I don't mean to interrupt you,
Okay.
if we can keep everything down, the price of the land, because that's what costs
So much money.
the most. And if we can build houses and make them resilient, so of course their electricity is not going to be skyrocketing, then we can keep the cost down. So the people that live within that neighborhood, within that part of the city, can buy at a reduced price. But
Do you own lots? Does the city of Tampa actually have property?
Yes.
Are most of those lots going to Domain Homes?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Where are most of those lots going?
To now we're starting to see minority builders, WIMBY builders coming in and buying and getting those lots.
And when you say it's an affordable home, are we talking 300, 200,000? Do you have any idea?
I've seen them going for 240.
240. That's about the lowest.
Mm-hmm. With down payment assistance.
Okay.
So it is becoming more and more affordable. Yes, ma'am.
You still probably need 2 good working incomes in there. Most likely. But that, at least it's better than 500,000.
And I've got to give credit where credit is due. Councilman Goods has been making the point that it's not only new homes, it's the rehabbing of old homes.
Okay.
So now we're having contractors for tree trimming in case there are trees that may fall on somebody's house, facade grants for outside, and now we're even looking at roof and electrical and some interior rehabbing, so we can keep people in their homes.
So we can keep people in place. That's very important. Yes, because
ma'am.
if they cannot afford to fix their home, they might decide to leave the home.
So let's give Councilman Goods a big shout out on this, because he has been a driving force on this.
Wonderful. Because I'm a health and life agent. I help a lot of Medicare, Medicaid clients. And when I go in the home and I see the air conditioner is broken, that's a red flag for me, because we don't want seniors in the home with no air.
And what somebody say, well, why are you going into the interior? Well, if we're looking at repairing a roof, but the roof has been broken or damaged for the last 5 years, and you've had rainfall after rainfall after rainfall
Then
going
you got
in
mold.
there, then you got mold, then you got wiring problems, and so that's why we're starting to go into the interior of the house.
Now, are you also putting solar on homes or helping with solar?
I want to see that so badly, especially on anything that has the title workforce or affordable housing, with solar capabilities, whether they're there now or not, or going to be in the project. And what's even more important than a solar panel is a battery backup. It's not in my opinion, it's not so much the solar panel. It's how do you take that energy from the solar panel and store it so that if something happens, we'll be able to charge your home, or you'll be able to feed it back into the grid and not have to pay for electricity. Or if you want to buy an electrical car,
you could plug it in at home.
Man.
That would be. So if someone has a home right now and they're interested in getting solar, do you have any assistance for that?
There is governmental assistance for that from the federal and on the state level, but not on the city level.
But not on the city level.
No,
okay, but maybe you could help steer them in the right direction.
Give me a call, 813-274-7072.
There's a wealth of information there at the city of Tampa. You know, a lot of times we just have to get the word out that these people can get assistance for all the things that they need, especially if you're a homeowner. Like you said, it's a tough job.
Mm-hmm. It truly is. Until you own a home, you do not know what you're getting
What
into.
a black hole it can be.
Well, you know, that's why they call them money pits.
Absolutely. Now, where is your boundary line for the city of Tampa? Because a lot of people think they can vote for the mayor and they just can't.
Well, you know, that boundary line is
it Bush Boulevard?
There are parts of Bush Boulevard that are in the city. There are parts of Bush Boulevard that are in the county.
But probably if you're on the northern side of Bush, you cannot vote. If you're in Carrollwood, for sure you can't vote.
You go east. No, you cannot. In Carrollwood, you cannot. Town and Country, you cannot. Luch, you cannot. Even though it says Tampa on your mailing address, you can't.
You cannot vote for city council, and you cannot vote for the mayor.
If you go on the east side, okay, let's just say east of Gaither, all the way out to almost 50th Street, you're still in the county north of Bush Boulevard. So if you say north of Bush Boulevard, it just depends on where on Bush Boulevard.
I see. Is it time for us to wrap up? Just about. Is that the end?
I can't be, man. We got too much to talk about. Okay, something.
Our engineer says we got to wrap it up.
I'm not listening to him,
Mr. Bezel.
Two things we got to talk about real quick, and it's for my friends out in Seminole Heights. There is the holiday shop hop, which is happening November 27th, which is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go out, shop locally, shop in Seminole Heights. You can visit many different places, antique stores, thrift stores, coffee shops, all sorts of stuff like that. And then, my friends in East Tampa, you've got the Small Business Saturday, and that's at 1924 East Comanche Avenue. Let's remember, shop local. Let's keep the money flowing within our neighborhoods. Dollar bills should pass 7 hands before it goes out of the neighborhood.
Amen.
Let's keep our funding in our economic environment here locally. Let's not send it off to some big old box store. Shop local.
I love it.
And where are we at? We're at 8805?
5508.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I have my dyslexia
also
kicking back.
known as THAP.
5508 THAP. There are so many wonderful businesses right here that you can visit. Shop local.
All right. Hey, I can't think of a better way to end Tampa Bay politics. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Mary Gerasi, I miss you, baby.
Happy Thanksgiving.